They must identify, if needs be, open up cases. It does not necessarily have to be in the local police station because of its political nature, you know. If you will, and if you are willing to organize yourselves, we can facilitate with the relevant department. So we can arrange with the MEC of community safety that your matter be handled privately, again, so that you don't feel intimidated. We can do that, but the community must be willing. Because if there's nobody who shows up and assists with the investigation, unfortunately the legislature does not have investigative capacity. Even if we were to go there, we're not detectives, we can't investigate anything. You see, we can go on site, but we're not going to achieve much. So we can facilitate with the relevant department, which is the Department of Community Safety, so that they look into your issue, it gets investigated. In conjunction with the internal investigation, I want us to come up with solutions and not just complain. How do we organize the residents of Extension 45? Do you have a committee other than the street committees? Do you have a structure, or you are scattered?
We are scattered, apparently, Chairperson.
You are not organized.
Yes, but we can organize a meeting if you can come.
I think organize yourselves first, and then once you have done that, we'll share our numbers with you. Once you have organized yourselves privately, we facilitate an interaction between yourselves and relevant authorities, law enforcement. General Mawel. You have General Mawela still? General Mawela is still yeah. So we've got the provincial commissioner, General Mawela, whom we can easily liaise with so that they give you a hearing. Or part of the reason why you can't whistleblow or come up, and it's because of an atmosphere of threats, intimidation, and so on. I think we can do that. But you may have to run your own internal investigation.
Noted, Chair.
Yeah, Udlan.
Yeah, Chair.
But you are committing to it.
We are committing, Chair. We will liaise with the EMPD, the Metro Police Department. I know that they've got an investigation unit.
Yeah, EMPD. Okay, EMPD, but yeah, beyond the EMPD, what do Hawks? Inside the Hawks.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Chair, maybe let's extend the investigation to the province, because they do have a unit that deals with corruption and anti-fraud, whatever.
Yes. So yeah, invoke support from the province. They've got a specialized unit there to look into all of these issues. Like I said, I mean, this is just a crime. It's criminality, you know. It doesn't have to do much with governance, but it's criminality. So that is how we'll deal with it. Ne? Yeah. I think you want to say the last thing? Under 1 minute? Yes.
Enye into esiye sayenza thina siye sabhalela i-public protector. So i-problem ebesinayo i-public protector uthatha labantu sikhala ngabo uthi mabenze investigation. Ungathatha umuntu ophush corruption uphinde umthuma ukuthi amo investigator mara nguye ophush corruption.
Yeah, well, we can't speak on that because we don't know what has been submitted with that office. And in fact, ordinarily, when you have approached the public protector, we would allow them to conclude because we don't want to duplicate, you see. So we will go with how we resolved on it. Ne? Internal and law enforcement agencies. Yeah, we like it. Okay.
So-
So let's leave it at that.
Chair, can I say something? Can I say something?
You are not going to duplicate.
No.
All right.
On the petition, it said there that people are being allocated on houses at night. Four in the front of me were allocated in the night. Even one official is also occupying a house in front of me.
Bra Bradley, already
Noted, noted.
there's the evidence. Eh? You wanted evidence. Kopana le Ntate Bradley, ne? Give him that information. Conceal your identity. Kopana fela le Ntate Bradley. I get it, because we also, in fact, we did not want you to say that in this meeting. But it's okay because. Okay, so we're going to break for lunch. You are going to remain inside, and they are going to serve you whilst you are seated. Now, I want to say something. We usually do these external hearings across the province. Tshwane, West Rand. We have actually came to Ikuruleni twice. Last we were in Foslo. This time around we're in Etwato. Joburg, we've done it. There's something that I've seen occurring once. After lunch, people disappear. What does it tell you? Eh? It tells you that other people come for lunch. Again. I hope Lona mo alatela lunch. Again. All right. So we stand a chant. And then our lunch will be for 30 minutes. At 3:15 we resume. We are proceeding at 3:15. Ne? All right. Thank you very much.
Siyaqala, we were supposed to have started by Korapas. Can I request Mr. Lwandile Mbodla? Mr. Lwandile. Oh, sorry. Nomzamo, Mam Nomzamo Mbodla. Mam Nomzamo. Bathe ukhona Mam Nomzamo. I don't know. Chair, I'm going to present petition number 4 and allow the city and the department to present a report. I must also place it on record, Chair, that the petitioner, that is Mr. Daniel Khumula, is not in attendance. The petition reads as follows, Chair. Relocation into permanent stands Brakpan, registration number PP05C/10/17 LOHS. The petitioner is Mr. Daniel Khumula, who resides at 402 Main Reef Road, submitting this petition on behalf of the residents of Angelo, who alleges that the residents of Angelo were relocated from Ward 21 to Ward 33 with the premise that they will be relocated into permanent stands in 2017. However, he alleges that nothing has come forth, and as a result, they are still stuck in Ward 33. He further alleges that they have requested the municipality to speed up the process of relocation, but were informed that Cornet Village Extension 17 is not yet ready for occupancy. Chair, the petition was before the committee for consideration and adoption. Subsequent to that, it was then referred to the city and the Department of Human Settlement for investigation and reporting on the 27th of October 2017. Chair, as it stands, we are awaiting a progress report. Thank you, Chair.
Department.
Thank you, Acting Chair. The city will respond on this one. It is correct that the process has been delayed because of the problem of okay. The qualifying residents of Angelo will be considered for allocation at Comet Extension 17, Chair. The Comet project is implemented by the city. However, the housing project was stalled due to community resistance and protests. And then this resulted in this matter being referred to the Office of the Public Protector to intervene between the city and the residents. Subsequently, the Office of the Public Protector made a ruling of the matter that the city must continue with the implementation of the project. The issues that the community members were raising include the house sizes, and they are of the view that the houses that are provided by government are small and they will not be able to accommodate large families. And then the community members were also concerned about the fact that some of the residents of this particular informal settlement will not qualify. So what has happened up to now is that the city is currently engaging the community leaders in order that the city must be allowed to continue implementing the project in the new financial year. Funding has been allocated for the implementation of the project. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. I see there's people sitting there, the petitioners.
We are from Comet Extension 17. Mr. Komola is not here. We can say we are petitioners because we are community of Comet Extension 17. Analman ngaphendula na. Ngalento athi uthi kuzokwakhiwa nibhizi ngayo ningumasipala. Sinenkinga laphaya ngo-2019 kungene iproject yamanzi. Kusithwa azo-allocator each stand lamanzi layana i-Comet Extension 17. But kasesifumanisa le project iye yaphela ingenzanga nto ibonakalayo. Safumanisa ukuthi kasiphanda singusanku ukuthiwa kwayifakelwa ama-high up, of which thina sasicele izindlu ze-RDP, not ama-high up, for i-community le eyase-Ward 33 naba abasondele kuyo. So kuthiwa yazakhelwa ama-high up, but masifumana amaphepha sifumana kuthiwa kwenziwe ama-installations wamanzi for i-RDP, kuphinde kube nenye i-report ethi kwenziwe for i-high up eyakwa-water and sanitation. I-date iyafana ne-reference number iyafana. Ngoku sishiyeka si-confused ukuthi kwenzakalani. Ngoba besicele ne-permanent stands asisikelwa ngoba sibaleka lento yokuthi kwi-RDP kuvele kungena abantu abangasobendawo kanti kakusakhiwa kwi-permanent stand indawo iba safe for the community.
Okay, do you want to respond?
Thank you, Chair. I would like to acknowledge the concerns that are raised by the representative of the petitioner. That is why I'm saying there were a number of issues that really created tension between the city as well as the community members. Hence, because we could not reach a solution, the matter was referred to the Office of the Public Protector to intervene. The Office of the Public Protector intervened, and then the Office of the Public Protector then directed that the city must proceed with the implementation of the project. However, the city has taken a decision that an engagement with the community members will be undertaken. So far, there have been 2 meetings. There was a meeting in March. There was also a subsequent meeting in April. And there will also be follow-up meetings so that we, ourselves, as the city and the members of the community find one another.
Diabulela tata, but ke ndifuna ukuyitsho ndithi because ani-engage community, ni-engage ama-ward community la azothetha le language eniyithethayo. Tina as a community khona ngoku sisende i-appeal last year 1st June to the town council. After i-appeal after i-tribunal ebesiyifakelwe yi-city ekuruleni town planning, i-planning division yakwa ekuruleni. Kwathiwa siluzile icase kuzakokhiwa amaflat endaweni yethu. Sa-aphila. Kwastopa nendlela ebeseyingenile kusithiwa kwenzelwa yona le nto zamaflat esingazazi nezikolo esingazazi ukuthi ziakhelwa bani singa-allocate ezitendini zethu. So uthetha okunye nathi sithetha okunye siyafika kuni sibeke isikhalo but anisimameli nenza le nto enifuna ukuyenza kuphela.
Okay, honorable members. Member Ledwaba.
Chair, it's a difficult one, but I wanted to confirm, to establish as to what was the impasse between the city and the residents that led to the public protector to intervene. Was what it seems to be the case here from that break is that it would appear that they had a problem with the implementation of the project. Maybe that is what was unlocked, but not the issue around the project itself. Because as you can see, they are talking about something else, a standalone RDP, and you are providing the walk-ups, whatever it is called, and there is already an impasse. I wanted to establish as to whether the mediation from the public protector dealt with that matter was only to unlock the challenges around the implementation of the project. So that's my question, Chair. And when you talk about these meetings, are you then saying the petitioners or the representative of the petitioner are part of those meetings? Or do you have an established process where you deal with the community at large? Because I think here the emphasis or the most important thing is that there are petitioners who should be engaged outside the normal processes wherein you engage ward committees and councillors, because these are the ones who have lodged a petition. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, anyone want to take a bite? Okay. Can you had the honorable member Ledwaba and what the petitioner is saying. Can you assist? But considering that the public protector has made a ruling that you must continue with the project, which part of the project are you going to continue with? And at what point or when are you engaging the community at large rather than engaging community leaders? Thanks.
No, thank you, Chair. The question from Honorable Ledwaba is noted. There were several issues that were raised by the community. Maybe I did not mention the issue of the high-rise buildings. It's one of the issues that the Office of the Public Protector was requested to address both the city as well as the members of the community about. Now, in terms of the people who are residing at Angelo Informal Settlement, we have indicated to them that they are targeted to be the beneficiary community there. And then that process has not yet started because of the disagreements. The other issues that the community raised there is the issue of the houses, Izindlu Ezilap, which were supposed to be demolished. Some of the community members felt that the houses should not be demolished. Instead, they want to be given title deeds for those houses. But the city could not agree to such a proposal because the houses that we are talking about are standing in the way of the development. And then some of the issues also involved the issue that some of the people may not qualify because they have benefited from the housing program elsewhere. And they are very much aware that if they have to resubmit the applications, they will not be approved. With regard to the meetings that have happened, Chairperson, I'm not too sure whether the petitioners were part of those meetings, but I have noted the direction of the committee to say, whenever those meetings are convened, we must also make sure that the petitioners are also invited to the meeting. So I'm not too sure whether they were part of those meetings or not. But going forward, future meetings that are going to be held with the community will also ensure that the petitioner or petitioners are also invited to those meetings.
Okay, that is, do you want to take any bite or are we happy with the final?
I'm not happy with what he is saying. According to my knowledge, comment extension 17 people, comment le enezindlu zemine. Ezi esicela uba umasipala makasithengele la mhlaba ukuze kube kuthiwa kunento ekuthiwa yi-comment extension 17 yacelwa ngabantu abahlala e-comment ezindlini ebizezemine before. There was, otherwise ngekho kulezi ngxoxo uba bekungasonga loo nto. Sicelile ukuthi makuthengwe umhlaba sakhelwe ilokishi kufakwe kufakwe iAngelo iDelmo intoni ezizibhenefitayo lapho zifakwe izindlu ze-RDP but zingademolishwa izindlu zemine. Kuthiwe siwuthengela umhlaba ngo-2014 kwavele ligama loba sesiyi-comment extension 17 sizawunikwa iziza sihlale. Namhlanje asisanikwa ziza u-Ekurhuleni usihambisa inkundla. Akhange kube na public protector futhi oyiweyo kuye. Into enayo sisiwe kwi-tribunal phasa abanjwa ngobhongwane kwathiwa sityiwe icase ngoba thina ajiwanga kakuhle. Kwathiwa we may appeal. We have appealed kuloo cases kwathiwa sisi-forms phaa e-ofisini ka-town council. Impendulo asikayitholi. Utata uKhomola lo namhlanje kuthiwa uyi-petitioner. Le yethu i-petition esiyifakileyo ayihoywanga. Lo kuthiwa uyi-petitioner uyikomiti kule project etya umhlaba laphaya. Uyikomiti kuyo ukunya nokhansela nomasipala kuyo lento. Umasipala angakamamela abantu ayekuthatha abantu enze ngathi kude kwa-intervene i-public protector entweni esingazazi. Ayikho loo nto. Kangangoba benisazi kahle ukuthi utata uKhomola uzabe engekho apha. Beniyazi kahle loo nto uba ayiyonyani utata uKhomola khange ekenze i-meeting ezinendawo zethu zokuhlala. Ayikho loo nto leyo. Simshile nangoku ehleli kwakhe. Ayikho loo nto leyo. Phendulani izikhalazo zethu nee-petitions zethu mazingapheleli kulaa Jimiston nala Alberton zingafiki phaa kufike ezibhalwe nini notata uKhomola thina singekho.
Enkosi Chair. Chair, Ekurhuleni udlala ngathi Chair. That's the first point, umasipala. Secondly, if I'm not mistaken, Chair, was incorrect. Wakune petition, legislature petition, esbuke. We send sifagile the issue. Again, wabane petition tema. Same issue sayifaga, sine query yento elokozweni ukuthi uthi umasipala uchange into sasivumelene ngayo ukuthi bazofaka iRDP comment extension 17. Secondly, sa agree ukuthi iHigh Mass bazokokhela abantu ababuya ama-foreigner outside the country yibo abazorenta. Sasifakile kwi-petition yasethema. Lastly, sayiphinde sayifaka futhi kuyikuzani kwi-petition yase-Groblersdal where apho kwakuno MEC uLaswanda ulokozo MEC wakekhona in that time. Ikurhuleni yayirepresentwe ngubaba uObrinxumalo elida lo lokozana. Instead maphendula imibuzo bavele baphuma babaleka befunwa yile Gauteng legislature in that time. Lastly, we appealed last year, June, yongayo le case le yama High Mass because we were not agreed with the into abayikhulumayo. Secondly, boka indlela abas notify khona panel because as we speak bayinikeze i-private company yiyo ebhizi phana yalokozena iyayilungisa njengamanje yayimaintainer khona phayana kwindawo ekufanele ba abantu base-Ward 33 i-mining belt per se
ihlala khona phayana. Namhlanje bayabuya bazosirobha khona apha eLekozeni. Last week basifonele bathi masizothatha iLekozeni petition on nge-31 eLekozeni ofisini kaBheni. Sithe masifika khona phana ayikho lokoza lo petition yethu iresponde ebuya kuba asiyitholanga. Masilekoza yesterday masibuza futhi phana kuthiwa no lo petition leyo ayinayo iPP number, i-petition number. What is that? And yingo abalekoza nabafoni leyo. So i-issue yabo yibo abasibulalayo khona pha eLekozeni endaweni. That place basitshela ukuruleni as a whole. No. We want mining belt, abantu base Ward 33. Bonke bangene eLekozeni. Secondly, sisasho nangoku sifuna ama-RDP houses. 3, sisasho nangoku ezazinto ezikhona phana zi-103. Zeze mining, benikhuluma khona lana. Nithi kwi-first week kaJuly nisabe nivakatshele indawo bokuyimine. As we speak, la mine leyana 1896 ukubhildwa kwezazindlu eziyana ngolokuza nge-first world war ezazindlu bezikhona phana beyinini i-first world war oHitler babekuphi still sasimile khona ngoku but bafuna ukuthi bazidilize. Into esikhulumayo is simple. Title deed basifakela amamitha wamanzi sibhatale amali ukuze ama-service kamasipala kuma-open spaces bokhele i-Ward 33. Simple as that. Enkosi.
Okay, no, that's how we'll conclude it. You've taken note of what they are saying. You need to continue with the project as per the ruling of the public protector. And secondly, you need to engage with the community at its entirety, not a section of the community, so that you are able to ascertain what do the community want. All these issues that they are raising and what you think you know about them can be better threshed out in an engagement with the community. So I suggest moving from here, take their contacts in the next meeting that you are going to have an engagement with the community, make sure that they are part of the discussion, and then you will be able to find each other. Let's rather close it that way.
No, noted, Chair.
Thank you. The next petition.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. The next petition is titled Review of Framework for Churches at Guruleni. The petitioner is Pastor Anna Tembi, an adult female who resides at 5 Kamini Street, Gauteng, submitting the petition on behalf of the Coalition of Ministers' Council. The petitioner alleges that they are a council of churches from Ekurhuleni and that they had previously requested to be given land on which they worship for free. She, however, alleges that instead of negotiating with the churches, the municipal council approved a framework which stipulates that all vacant land must be sold at the tender process. She further alleges that it is unfair of the churches as they have been worshipping on the land for years and that they will not be in a position to bid for the land due to financial constraints. Furthermore, the petitioner alleges that they submitted a petition to the municipality but did not receive a favorable response. That is the petition, Chairperson.
And the petitioner is not here?
The petitioners are here, Chairperson.
Oh, they are here?
Yes, Chairperson.
Dumelang, I think give them the mic there. Can you confirm if it's your petition?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Department? City?
Thank you, Chair. Sorry for the delay. We will respond.
Good afternoon. I'm track hearing.
Can you fly to the report, please? Okay, can you fly to the presentation? Oh, there it is. The city, what the petitioner has confirmed that it indeed it's their petition. It's with regards to the framework for churches as adopted by the City Council of Ekurhuleni. They are alleging that they have been in constant contact with the city and requesting that they be given that portions of land. The council decision, however, says that portion of land will be sold through tender processes. Can you respond?
Can I respond now? On that petition?
It's the department that's going to respond, ma. You'll come in.
It's because we are COMICO, we are not FBO. COMICO, Coalition of Ministers Fraternal.
But is it your petition?
Ours should be COMICO, not FBO. COMICO, we've got the copy here with us. Yours should be what? No, let me show.
Oh yeah, it's fine. It's the same thing. Basically, that's the body. Yeah, it's fine. Let me explain it to you.
Is it same pit? No, it's fine. I think what could have happened is that as they responded, they said faith-based organization as opposed to just saying specifically to COMICO as you are saying that your church is COMICO. But let's hear the response. Yes,
Okay.
you can respond.
Thank you very much for your indulgence. My name is Dr. Zenzo Ndima. I am working for the real estate department, Ekurhuleni, property management division. I'm going to take you through the framework that was approved by the council to assist all the faith-based organizations within the city. By faith-based, I'm not only referring to the churches, all religious groups were accommodated in this particular framework. On the 3rd of December 2013, the former executive mayor made a call to all the churches around, those who are occupying the properties of the council, they convened in Jamestown Hall, where it was decided that the city is going to assist the churches to try and formalize their occupation or give them land through sale or leases. So out of that, the department was instructed to come up with a framework on how that was going to be done. So the only way the municipality can dispose of land yayo is either ukuthi bayirentise noma bayithengise. So that was the two parts of the framework that we agreed upon. The third one was to engage the Department of Education for those churches that are willing to use classrooms through agreement with the Department of Education. But then we only focused on the one that the city of Ekurhuleni can do. Following that, we submitted a report to the council that was approved on 26 March 2015, approving the framework that we can now implement to assist the FBOs, the faith-based organizations. Following that, we went ahead, because part of that framework is proposed that an accreditation committee be established within Ekurhuleni, so that all the churches, before they can sign the lists, they must be accredited, they must be vetted, and then to make sure that they are actually churches or FBOs, not other organizations in terms of law. So part of that framework then approved that accreditation committee. So as a department, we started in earnest to identify all the properties that are appropriately zoned in terms of land use that can be used for social use like Amasondo. So we also, during that process, also identified those that are already occupied by the churches. So about 105 properties were identified by the city of Ekurhuleni. Were made available for this particular program of assisting FBOs. These 105 churches were to be leased, were to be given to the churches with our rent, not our ten. So another 18 sites, which were vacant at the time, not occupied by anyone, were made available for sale to the churches. Unfortunately, word spread that the city of Ekurhuleni is helping the churches. Some of the vacant stands were immediately occupied by other churches so that we cannot evict them. So following this, another report was submitted to the municipality with a list of all the stands to approve that we sell them. After we did our internal processes like evaluation of each and every property, because remember, we are selling or renting. We are not giving them for free. So we submitted another report, the council approved in 2016. I forgot the date is here. They approved that we can go out and sell or lease those tents. 105 were to be leased and 18 were to be sold. Unfortunately, again, out of these 105 plus 18 stands, only 6-ish were awarded after the tenders were closed. So only 6 of 105 were awarded to the churches that qualified for the tender. Also in these 18, only 6 were awarded to the churches that qualified for sale to buy those tents. We believe that in terms of the 18, we had a problem because when the churches went to view the inspection before the tender award submissions, they found that other churches are already on site. So no one wanted to fight with another church. So I think that is the problem that affected this. Number two, I believe that the problem was the inability of the churches to complete the tender documents correctly. And I believe that one was the market value, because they were expensive, some of them, especially those that have to be sold. So we can say the process of disposing was not successful, very successful as we were expecting. Because you can see out of 105, people can only list 6. And out of 18, you can only sell 6 churches. Those 6 and 6 were signed, lease agreements were signed, deed of sales were signed, and then those churches concluded everything that they were supposed to do. Seeing the challenge with the illegal occupation and the unwillingness of churches, I might say, Chairperson, that most churches did not submit the awards. Remember, we had a list of churches from that engagement, some of the churches. So we actually informed them direct that there is a tender. But most of them, maybe they look at the prices, lease prices or rental, they never submitted. Then, as I mentioned, the framework also approved the regularization of churches in terms of accreditation, those who are already on site. So to change the strategy as a department, as a city, we now engage those churches that were already in occupation so that we can assist them. So that was dependent on them being accredited within 7 months of signing the lease agreement with us. 2 challenges that we found, I'll repeat myself. The first one was those who accepted the deals, they actually refused to pay. And they started engaging other bodies or organs of state, even public protectors, to say you are being unfair because they are NGOs and all those things, even though they signed the lease agreements and deed of sales. And another challenge was those who are already on site. Some of them were still busy with the court orders today because they are not willing. I know by last week or 2, the sheriff of the court went to evict one of those churches. So it is those challenges that we have not moved that far with the framework, but the framework is still existing, has not been rescinded, has not been cancelled. It's still standing. That is how we work. Maybe I should explain the accreditation. There is a committee that is run by our health department. There is a format that has been devised. Churches had to submit their documentation like NPOs, SARS rebate, and all those other documents to prove that they are NGOs. Once they are accredited, then they can be able to qualify to buy or lease land. As I'm talking here, I don't know how far our report is, but we have done a third report to return these properties to the council, explaining all of these things that I've said, to say that some of them are still available, some churches are still illegally occupying the properties. So the problem is still there. So this third report will ask the council to actually decide what to do. I think that's where we are now in terms of this regularization. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ndima. There it is, petitioner. Did you hear the response from the city? What is your take?
Okay, number 1. The main concern was the accreditation. Maungabheka le petition na accreditation kwafika ama forms azange abafundisi babizwe kahle batshelwe ukuthi kunento so sabona ngama forms. I think it Ratanda, Tsakane, Guatema, Davidson and Whiteville. Tsakane as well, Guatem. Safila, I'm a paper accreditation. I think we're plus minus 400, so our submit known. You know, only 14 churches were accredited out of the whole number. Because manje, if you go through those, what you call those forms, kunezinto ezinzima zokuthi a pastor cannot be accredited unless he's got more than 80 members. Secondly, kunento ethi, go to the neighbors, let them confirm, go to the school, nearby school. Zonke izinto nje ezi-complicated, besides izinto ezi-understandayo njengokuthi SARS and whatever. Amanye amasonto ase indawo, a land, an open land. There's no neighbor there. And then mawuthi uyachecka lapha ne Albertine, bazokutshela ukuthi a neighbor should testify, awuna neighbor, and then we are failure. We are not being accredited. So into besiyicelela ku accreditation ukuthi ake nizameni ukureviewa. Yabona ama demands lawa alapha. Kukhona ukuthi umfundisi wonke akhona kuba able ukuthi athole accreditation eyokuqala. And then indaba ye land. We've got churches ebezikade zikhona kuma land for more than plus minus 20 years. Balapho bakhonza. And then mawuthi uyothenga, I think pastors have applied for those lands abazi-occupayayo. Kwathiwa siyitholile, will come back to you. Iminyaka eminingi akunamaletha abuyayo. Instead of ukuthi kuphenduleke, kufika ama-form we-bidding. How can you compete nebandla elinemali, ibandla lakho lingenamali? Ibandla lakho lizokhona uku-afforda ukuthenga the land, but if kunomuntu one-million, uzoza vele overpower. So thina what we are asking as churches, sell us the land. Ningasifaki ku-bidding, niyasilimaza. Ngoba siba illegal ezindaweni ngapha siyashumayela. Ngapha sihlele indaweni illegally, of which is wrong. Amandla kuyithenga iland sinawo, but ukubhida it's really difficult for us. Indaba zokulisa ne, kuna these undeveloped places like abomalangaville. There's a pastor yala kumafundisi owa apply lease. Indawo nje uyibonayo na ukuthi yahawula, umkhukhu nje uhawulayo. Kwathiwa 2,500 per month ukulisa. And then after 12 months, kune increase ye 10%. Uyayibona into enjalo, ngicela nisicabangele ubheki area ukuthi isonto likuphi. And then ucheck ukuthi abazalwane balana bayasebenza or kwenzakalani. If siyalisa nisicabangele i-2,500 endaweni kuma undeveloped places zemikhukhu angeke vele iphume. Uyayibona into enjalo, into besikhala ngayo. Number 2, kunamabandla ne eThema bebehlala khona ngazi ba yeah, njengalama sonto ase extension 2 bawathengile amaland today. Iminyaka neminyaka akunama site kuthiwa i-private and whatever. Solo sizama kuyilungisa, sihlezi nama mayor sahlala nabo MMC baloku bathi siyayilungisa. After 5 years lo muntu esidila naye uyamuva kungena omusha indaba iqala phansi. Uyayibona? And then the last one bokuyini konje? What was the last one la petition? Let me check the last one quickly. Ku petition. Okay, for now, thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, there it is. With regards to church sites, the city has a council resolution, as Dr. Ndima has indicated, that sought to regulate the disposing of land, whether through sale or lease, which was approved on the 26th of March 2016. And within that framework, there's an accreditation committee that look into all the churches and accredit them to qualify for either of the above mentioned. But also, there are returnables, your documents, your SARS and everything that it's accompanying that the disposing of land. So there is sort of a balance, but the petitioner is of the view that the lease value is a little bit expensive. Yeah, maybe let me hear honorable members, then I'll come to you, then you'll answer and wrap up. Honorable members. Yes, Member Chavala.
I just wanted to check from the city, the 2,500, is it standard across the municipality? Or when they charge for these rentals, they look at an area to say, area A will be 2.5, area B will say maybe be 5,000. Just wanted to check that, thank you.
Thank you. I think if there's nothing, you want to say something, Member Ledwaba? Okay.
Chair, I think the main important thing is that this framework is based on the council resolution. I think that is the essence of the whole thing. So I wanted to find out from Dr. Ndima, because it seems that the framework is not working, and we have alluded to that fact. What would be the ideal process that the council will undertake in consideration of the factors that have been raised? Because in the absence of any rescission of the council resolution, it makes it very difficult for even yourself to operate outside the framework. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ndima. It's you can respond.
Thank you very much. I'll start with the accreditation. The accreditation, Mama, nyakuza mokuluma nge-14 phela. Kodwa, the accreditation happens periodically. Futhi yenzeka ayenzekanga once off. Even today, accreditation ivoliwe ama-application. So angisisho umama makati only 14 people, only 14 churches. Maybe at that particular phase, ngaleso sikhathi leso, but into ongoing. Eqhubekayo, so ngizo-checka ne-committee, but I know that they meet every once a month to consider my accreditation form. So it cannot be then after since 2016 until now. Maybe the 14 came out of the 400 at that particular time. But depending on my reason that they are given for not being accredited. Remember, the 7 months was meant for those who could not qualify to go and rectify. Abanye abantu banganama NPO qobo lwawo. Abanye they did not have a SARS, what to call it, rebate or any other documentation. So kodwa ke angeke ngithi ngiphikiso mami, but ngizo find out ukuthi how come, because I know ukuthi it's happening once a month. Then they release a report wabo quarterly. Every 3 months, during these 3 months, is accredited. Abantu abangaka se reject abangaka and is rejected. Those who are allowed to come back are also mentioned. So, okwesibili, umsindi neighbors of the churches should be witnesses. We know ukuthi ama-neighbor amaningi, amasonto amaningi wasemalokishini aseduze kwezindlu and asemathendeni. And before this process, we already dealt with a lot of complaints from our community. Ukuthi amasonto akhalisa music ababangela umsindo. So to avoid ukuthi sign a lease only to find that problem aba maning. So that's why we said the churches should have a good working relationship with the neighbors. So my neighbor should be able to say no, we accept them. We had situations where we go and ask the churches to reduce noise. When we left by kupule food, so it's just an on and off. So this one was done for that, ma'am. Guti, singat solve the problem, is any problem food. It can be reviewed, but as long as I'm a neighbor, because in terms of law, the public has a right, has a say in every transaction, your property, your asset, kamaspal. Even when we sell, you have to do the Section 78 local government ordinance to ask our neighbor and the public in general if they support this thing. So I think it is to the advantage yamasonto lawa seceleni kwezindlu zabantu to go and have a relationship right nalabo bantu lapho. So those who do not have a neighbor, obviously, that can be explained. I'm just standing alone there. There is no neighbor next to me. You can't go 2 kilometers. I'm a witness. So I was just explaining why I'm a witness from a neighbor. So a bidding process. Maybe I can go back a little. Kunomthetho obizwa ukuthi Municipal Finance Management Act, where government, local government. In terms of lomthetho, ilo vela la matenda enwabona kukhulunywa ngawo every day. Lomthetho lo uthi we must be transparent, competitive, and sisebenzisa market related value mengabe sithengisa ama asset kamasipala, umhlaba kamasipala. So akusi decision kamasipala wasekuruleni kuphela lo. Lomthetho apply all over the country. So that's why ngithe mangikhuluma nge-framework ngathi sifostwa ilomthetho plus eminye imithetho endlula before lo ukuthi before sithengise fanele sidetermine i-market value yaleyo property noma siyayithengisa noma siyayirentisa so that sizocomply ngalomthetho. Unfortunately, this is done by professional valuer, independent, and it is illegal to tell them ukuthi basharge malini. When I started in the municipality, we used to do this ourselves. There was a formula just to calculate it. But with the upgrading of Mteto, if I can tell, I do ask the valuer, honestly, do ask them, but this is unreasonable. And they get very angry. They can even open a case against you because it's like we are influencing them otherwise. But this is done for law. But mawitheng is a permanent. Fanele kube nebidding. Mawirentisa kumuntu oyedwa oyifuna indawo. We can rent it direct to you. But only if value endawo is low or i-term ofuna ukuyirenta ngayo ayindluli 10 years. It's not a long term. That's why la masonto beswarentisela 9 years, 11 months, so that it's not jump 10 years. Then we can then engage and this sign is a direct, it's not invite abanye abantu. So number 4, amali sacrament not feasible. Or ama cost, sengwa explain la ma cost avela kuma valuation. Our disount omaspal. Kodwa ke kule case le for ukulisa kune plan ipolice umasipala approvile uyayireview njengamanje ebizwa ukuthi social segmentation plan. I'm sure accreditation committee should have informed you about that. Leyo plan leyo ngayibiza phecelezi nokuthi iplan yama discount. After so unikiwe price you accept ukuthi ya ngiyayithanda le ndawo. You can use that plan to say, but I am a non-profit organization. I'm not making profit. The very same documentation both as provide that you are not making profit can be used. Then HOD, Yaga Real Estate, Nasa Health, they will then talk to each other to prove that no, it's really a non-profit organization. Then they can give you, at the moment, the rental can go up to 90% discount, depending to meet a requirement of the plan. But as I say, it's being reviewed, but it is, the municipality approved 2016, that plan. So if you want to lease, and we have been offered the lease and we have accepted, we are still interested, but it's too high. It covers not only FPOs, but any social organization that is not making profit. We have a way of coming back to discounted. That means I'm answering the question, the price is not across the board. Remember, evaluation depends on where the property is. They look at all those other things around. To find a big property like this at a auction, it costs less than a small property in an urban area because of those things. So the price is not the same. Some are 500, some 3,000, some even 300,000 because of the area that the property is. Evaluation isn't as new. And then, if former mayor and MMCs, no, that's one I think is beyond me again. But I believe the former mayor did help what was Kalisa the framework. Councillor Mondli Kungubel was the mayor at the time. That's why we started. Actually, if I can point it out, when the churches approached him, there were court orders that were issued to the churches to vacate. It's by evict. So they approached the mayor, and the mayor was unfair. Let us try and accommodate them. So obvious, after that, there have been other mayors and MMCs, so I cannot respectfully, may I not answer this one?
No, it's fine.
Because I don't know.
It's fine.
And then the framework, I agree, I think something before COVID, the department was working on reviewing the framework. I think our momentum was affected by COVID. We saw a lot of loopholes to framework. For instance, this framework was meant to last for 5 years. But it didn't say which date, from which date to which date. That's why accreditation is. So there are so many loopholes that we have picked as a department, and from the churches as Umama Kulumamanj. Perhaps even issue evaluation can be addressed there in the framework, but it has not yet been reviewed. I will take this message to my principals to say, let's comment again in the biography review framework. Maybe we ask for representation from the political heads and the community leaders and the churches themselves, so that when we review the framework, it speaks to everybody. But we have picked this one, it needs to be reviewed. And we started the process by 2020 February or so, then that's when the whole thing went down. So we've just come back from November last year. We've just come back November last year to fully operate as a city. So some things are still slipping out of our fingers, but I'll definitely take this one forward. With all these questions, I'll take them to those who sent me here, Amama Superior Wami. I'm not sure, I cannot promise how we are going to inform all the churches whenever we review, but there are protocols and processes in the city of doing this. I think I've answered everything. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you very much. I think you tried to cover almost everything, unless if there's...
Just one thing, I mentioned about those churches. In the meantime, they are using classrooms with Pasay Kolweni. I think there is a lack of communication right, because Bonabati, the council says, Tina singayisebenzisa ikolo, but toluguti the principals abanayo leyo mandate or abanayo leyo information, and then bavalele even labo beba sebenzisa ikolo then, because angisho it's not a permanent thing, it's a temporal thing. And then gwabane request futhi ukuthi, can we maybe in the meantime ikolo mazivalile use a space like ngisinskatuma kuno misebenzi, an open space near you to put a tent for that Sunday, for that 3 hours or 2 hours. And then nakona, it's a problem. And we need to minister or to serve the community through prayers and ministering the word. And kube yinkinga ke leyo because of ama facilities kunzima kwathola. You know, liyase ikolweni I think nayo isuke ibe challenge kakhulu ngoba sithola I green light ngapha ngale bese sithole I red light, isangazi ukuthi manje who to believe. Thank you.
Okay, no,
Okay,
it's
the
fine.
ladies.
I think, sorry.
Obegati funu.
Okay, siyabonga kakhulu sizwile. Manje bengifuna nje ukucacelwa kahle ne, ngingakuzwa wrong. Njengoba besikhala ngokuthi I-rent ye-lease kuyindawo ezi-undeveloped, besicela ukuthi nisicabangele, nisehlisele. Kunethuba lokuthi mhlambe ke those that are interested ku-lease ba reapply na, ngoba uchairperson we-FBO sike sakhala kuye wathi ukuthi bafundisi what you need to do ukuthi mase uapplyela I-lease ngale mali le abantu njengoba le bengitshela ukuthi abuma 2000 ekhuphuka in 12 months nge 10%, wathi write a letter, a supporting letter, usho ukuthi ukuyiphi indawo and we cannot afford this much, what we can afford is this. Still, we're rejected kulezo zinto lezi ezinjalo. So bengifuna ukubuza ukuthi likhona ithuba na lokuthi abafundisi they can reapply for I-lease or vele sekuvaliwe.
Okay, thank you. I think we must conclude this issue in this way. First, we must appreciate that this is a council resolution. No official of council can change or amend a council resolution. It's only council that can amend a council resolution. However, the framework that we're talking about, it emanates from that same council resolution. And I think Dr. Ndima has already explained that they are busy reviewing the framework to allow any service requester to present their situation as an individual, and their issue will be considered as an individual. He also spoke about it getting up to 90% discount, depending on the area, the individual's papers, or the returnables that the person needs to submit to the accreditation committee. And I think it's a process that will allow, and we can't be general about it. Situations will always differ. The same with evaluation. The evaluator, if it's an independent evaluator, will obviously consider the area, the land, and everything that needs to be considered and determine a price. And I think that comes as Member Chabalala was asking whether it's a flat rate or it depends. And from the response I get, it depends on the valuation that determines the price. What we probably need to suggest to the city is that convene a similar meeting that you once convened of all faith-based organizations, re-explain to them the processes, the process of selling, the process of leasing, so that those who can't afford to buy the land have an option of leasing. and understand all the technicalities and the returnables that are required when you want to lease a portion of land from the city. And this we are saying in understanding that everything, the disposing and the selling, the leasing of land in any municipality, it's governed by the Municipal Finance Management Act. So just find a space within your time with the department, convene everybody, do some information sessions. Let them understand what is needed, where and why, including what you just explained to us, that if a church is located in an area where it does not have neighbors, what are the possible things or returnables that the church can do to remedy that situation so that they are able to formally submit their request to the department for accreditation or to the accreditation committee. I think let's rather leave it there. You'll at your own space, as soon as possible, convene all the faith-based organizations so that we don't renegotiate the framework. You look into how best can you deal with all these issues as raised by the petitioner. I think that should be able to conclude this petition. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor. Pastor, thank you. Can we have the next petition, please?
All right, thanks, Chair. There are two petitions that we're going to deal with. One is allocation of RDP house, and the other one would be unsatisfactory development at Pt.2. This one will then require the municipality to respond, and the other one will also require the municipality and the department to respond to. However, I must also indicate, Chair, that the complainant are not in attendance. One, it's allocation of RDP house, Nomzano Mbodla. The petitioner is Mr. Lwandile Mbodla, an adult male who resides at 1594 Zondi, Soweto. The petitioner alleges that he is the biological son of Ms. Nomzamo Mbodla, who passed away in 2005, who was the owner and occupant of stand 1387 extension 2, Chrisani, Davidton. He further alleges that after his mother passed on, he was appointed as the beneficiary of an estate and as such inherited the said stand which had a shack at the time. He also alleges that in 2007, residents of the area were informed to start preparing their stands for the building of RDP houses, and as such, he was informed to submit a letter of authority since the stand had not been officially transferred to him, and at the time, as the details reflected, his deceased mother. When he eventually submitted the letter of authority, he alleges that he was sent from pillar to post instead of being built a house like other residents in the area. He therefore requests for the intervention of the legislature as he is still without an RDP house, even though he submitted all the relevant documentation such as letter of authority. Chair, the petition was referred to the city and the Department of Human Settlement for investigation and reporting on the 27th of August 2021. A report dated 12/10/21 was received from the Department of Human Settlement confirming that indeed Ms. Nomzamo Mbodla appears on the housing subsidy system as approved in 2002 for Binoni Housing Project and not on the housing waiting list database. The petitioner has made numerous follow-ups regarding this matter. We are currently awaiting a progress report. And then the last one will be unsatisfactory development. Okay. I'm informed that Mr. Eric Mahlangu is here. I will request him to come in front. unsatisfactory development at Twatwa. The petitioner is Mr. Eric Mahlangu, an adult male who resides in Barcelona, submitting this petition on behalf of the community, who alleges that the former ward councillor, Councillor Nolwazi, called a meeting in 2015 and informed the community that the municipality will be building a park and a hall in the area. He also alleges that she then showed the community the maps of the proposed park and hall and requested for their inputs. However, he alleges that the construction of the park and hall has commenced, but the community is not happy as the park is different and the fence is in the road. Furthermore, he alleges that they informed the ward councillor about the matter, but the process was halted. Chair, the petition was before the committee and further referred to CT on the 5th of February 2018. Follow-ups were also made on the 6th of March 2018. We are currently waiting for a progress report. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Department, or can you confirm the other one, the development at Twatwa?
Honorable Mabunda. Yes. Igama ngu Eric Mahlangu. Yes, kuyiqiniso wale petition.
Okay. Department and the City of Ekurhuleni, can you respond on both? You can start with the first one and then conclude with the development.
Thank you, Acting Chair. I'm going to give a progress report on the first petition of Ms. Mbola. And also to say that a signed response was sent to the legislature. I don't know if it was forwarded to yourselves. Thank you. In response, just a moment, I'm waiting for the response to open. Thank you. Thank you. The department would like to confirm that indeed Ms. Nomzamo Mbodla was allocated a stand in 2001 and also in 2002 she was earmarked for the then development of Chris Hani extension 2, and she was given forms to fill out for subsidies, in which she did apply for subsidy, and she was indeed approved. However, when it was time for her to be built a house, Ms. Mbodla was not on site. And seeing that the project was an in situ project, the department then depended on the local leadership to do verifications to ensure that the relevant beneficiaries are built for. So when it was time for the house to be built, Ms. Mbodla was not on site to then give consent that the house be built. And as a result, when it was time for extension 2 to get the development and construction of houses, she was not part of that extension. And that phase of the project then went on for a period of 5 years, in which Ms. Mbodla was untraceable. And the committees then, in their report, state that they did try to get hold of her until such time that the phase 2 of the project was then finished. Now, it was also reported that the subsidy that Ms. Mbodla was approved for is the consolidation subsidy, in which you get half of part of the subsidy in order to then construct the top structure. In 2011, the department then undertook a process of ensuring that they then built for all the other people that had been left behind by extension 2 and extension 3 of the development. And even with that part of that process, Ms. Mbodla's stand was not included. It was not included in the extension 2 when it was built because she did not give consent for the house to be built. And also in 2002, it still did not form part because she was reported as untraceable. After we received the petition, we requested the rapid response team of the department to go on site to investigate as to what happened. And the rapid response team in October 2021 then went on site to find out what might be the issue with the stand that has been reported. And what we then received as a report was that the set site was not reported under extension 2, however, it was reported under extension 3. And from that report, what the department then did was that we went back on site to go and find out who were the people who were responsible to ensure that beneficiaries were traced and also rightful people were then built for. And we received a referral to Mr. Jonas who was the housing liaison officer responsible for the project since inception to date. And he reported that after 5 years, when Ms. Mbodla was not responding positively to come and claim the subsidy and to have the subsidy to have the house built, her stand remained vacant, and also a community meeting was then called by the then councillor to take a decision of all the stands that are available in that area. And it was then decided that after a period of time, those stands would then be given to the elderly in the area, and also those elderly must be built for, and that process then took place. And as a result, Ms. Mbodla's stand was then reallocated to somebody within the community, and another house was built. So we'd like to confirm as the department that the subsidy for Masimbotla was never claimed. So Lwandi Lembotla can still get access to the subsidy. However, he needs to come back to the project and form part of the arbitration for the stands in Chris Hani. And when he gets reallocated the stand in the area and he stays in that stand, then that process of then making sure that the subsidy then builds the top structure as it was approved for, that process will then be done.
The second one?
Chair, the second one, it seems as if the department that is supposed to respond is not here. Sorry, they are here.
I give them mic.
Thank you. My name is Eva Masekwa from the SREC department, the Sport, Recreation, Arts and Culture department. So the petition, I see it speaks about the hall and the park. So I just needed to clarify something first and foremost to say that as the SREC department, we are more on the hall side of the facilities than the parks. So I'm not sure if the environment, resources, and waste management department is in the house so that they can take care of the park side of the petition. So however, we'll just only respond on the hall and give over to the parks department to take care of the park. And then I think Eddie Kutsi will just briefly give you the report in terms of the hall. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Chair, thank you through you. From the SREC department, my name is Edward Kutsi, I'm a senior project manager. We are not aware of this project. We were not involved from day one with the construction of the hall or involved in the park. I think this project was initiated in 2015 from our side. So firstly, we just would like to find out, has any construction been done on site? To be honest.
Who are you asking, Mr. Kutsi?
Just, Chair, if you can, somebody can maybe advise us on that, or the complaint, or the individual that complained, if he's available.
When did you receive the petition, Mr. Kutsi?
From our side, Chair, this morning.
This morning?
We were requested to attend, and then we did try to find out and contact the necessary people involved in the project, but we could not achieve that. So if there's somebody involved here, maybe they can advise us on that. And then further from our side, what we can do, due to also budgets, we can look at developing a hall in the outer years closer to that. That is what we were advised for through our senior people also.
No, it's fine. We'll let you get in touch with the petitions office so that they give you the full petition. Because you can't give it to lip service without knowing what are the facts. It's fine, you'll be excused. I mean, the petitions office will give you further details on the petition so that you see whether it's with you or will pass it to whoever is responsible. But it's unfair that we come here expecting responses and then we get to answer some of the questions. But the petitioner on the first one of the RDP, did you hear the response of the department where they say it was a consolidated subsidy? So they put up options that you can follow in resolving the issue of the person who was to receive that subsidy. What's your response?
Chair, no. Maybe you must have no wrong. Le yoqala ngiyazi mina.
Oh, when we were the second one?
Yebo.
Okay. Okay, no, it's fine. Now, you heard Mr. Kutse, he seemed not to know the issue. You can respond out of what
Chair,
yes.
I think, to be frankly honest, the city of Ekurhuleni idlala ngathi manje. Serious. Remember, we budgeted time and everything personally to come here. The city of Ekurhuleni idlala ngathi. For me, sitting here, it's money. Ngabe sengisebenze somewhere ngathola imali. I've been sitting here, the city of Ekurhuleni bazothabas. The petition mangayicheck yakudala long time ago, and we've been trying to engage now. And the issue, mabazothi bayithole today, it seems as kune problem khona. That needs, because mangihamba mina I need to do a handover kumuntu ozongena kulelo office. But nonetheless, that park mabati, there are two things. Kune park, part we park kune hall. Akusi hall of futhi dining room. That's the challenge. So I don't know whether basazo budgeted since cut and so forth. But honestly, I'm talking to you today. Ipark ivala indlela sikhona ukuhamba ngeimoto. Ingene estratini yavala nesinye istrat. Yazi yangena kwamanye amajarity. There are two stands that need to, as nama ARF kufanele zihlala abantu. Ipark ihamba ejardini lazo. Ipark iba ize kwa forced ukuthi isikolo sivule igate elingene park because it's a mess that was done by the city of Ekurhuleni. And we said Tina before, come, let's sit down, sinbonise lezinto. But they will always talk to us on my phone. That's why phone about 011 and Saibambi. Because they will tell us a story. And today I don't want to be saying in Jablil. I'm not happy sitting here the whole day. That means the city of Ekurhuleni doesn't take our residents who are Ekurhuleni serious. And one day, don't blame us, the legislature, we're not going to say we are going to close down the city of Ekurhuleni until Baslalel. We are going to pay services, but one day, it's one day. Sizolvali chimistin, bazosilalela ngenkani, because abananda banati. We are citizens of city of Ekurhuleni. We are entitled, it's a must for us to be given lezo zinto, if bas budgeted. If closing, Chair, if you are going to spend more than 20 million, mawuqeda uzothi ngenza mistake. That's our state coffers. Imali zethu lezi badlala ngazo. 20 million is too much. Ngabe sonke sesithola ama food passes nalabantu abangasebenzi ngabathola umsebenzi. Kahle, if it was me bengizothi let's put the city of Ekurhuleni under administration, thatha wonke amandla wemali uzobona izinto zoyenzeka.
No, it's fine. I think I agree with you. It's unfair that the department will come here. And I see they did not receive it yesterday because from the report they've submitted here, the HOD of the department signed it on the 7th, meaning the HOD will have received it earlier than yesterday. She will not have signed it yesterday. So there was sufficient time for the department to find out what's happening and respond accordingly. But the honorable members, yes, honorable.
Chair, thanks, Chair. I wanted to have a bite on the report from MEM there, from the province. I'm happy because Doctor is still here. We're made to know the processes in terms of the MA. We're told of the framework, the council resolutions, and in the morning we're told of people that are street committees that are selling land or are allocating land, which was repudiated by Ndade Bradley. Now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, okay, I forgot to mention about the churches that are occupying land. And in the morning, there was strong emphasis about land invasion that is making the municipality to operate very difficult. Now, all of a sudden, a councillor and a particular community or a community can willy-nilly take somebody's stand. No process, no legislation allows that to happen. But we can't occupy any piece of land that is occupied, that is open. Because if we were to do that, you are violating the bylaws, you are violating the legislation.
But here, a council and a committee or whatever community have got the guts to go and take somebody's stand, who's approved, who's allocated. These things, they do not match. There is a serious problem. That is the kind of challenges that we have, wherein people take law to themselves. Because if you can do it, it means another person can do it. Where does the council or the community get the guts to take somebody's stand? It doesn't work like that. And they have got the guts to come and say, there was a resolution of the community. We are going to take a resolution of the community in faith land. Will that be sufficient? They are going to tell us that is wrong. They are going to tell us that legislation does not allow that. The law does not allow. But when they do it, it's fine. So I've got a serious problem with that, Chair. Thank you. I just wanted to raise that reservation. Because they are here, Brabek is here, Doctor is here, based on what they were lecturing us the whole day.
Thank you, Member Litwawa. Member Schneemann? Okay, no, it's fine. No, or do you want to respond? You don't.
I'm truly chastised. Yeah, I take it. Thank you.
Okay, you can come in. Which gentleman? The gentleman in the black jacket. Yes, I'm told you want to respond. The gentleman in the black jacket, unfortunately, I don't know the name. Which gentleman? There's a lot of people with black jackets here.
Sorry, Chairperson.
I'm on the park side, sir. My name is Mupete Ramonati, senior manager admin. I was told to come here on Tuesday. I didn't have much of the information with me, but I tried to gather the map so that everyone can see if ever it can be shown there.
Yeah, that's fine, but I think, colleagues, you are actually a disappointment. You can't come into a petitions hearing with less information as you want to. I mean, you knew these things before you came. You should have done your exercise, should have investigated what is it that is expected of you. One day people will close you in a hall and you will not go home. I'm telling you, one day you will come in a meeting, people will close you in a hall, you will not go home. Soon it will happen, I'm telling you. You can't take us for granted. You can't come in a meeting and you have no information. It's upon you to investigate exactly what is it that is needed. You don't come here and second guess what is it that we are expecting. We have other things to do as well. You must never do that. It's fine.
I'm not sure if the seniors, they can allow me, give me close to 7 days so that I can prepare a comprehensive report about this matter. It's my request.
Okay, I saw you were raising a mic.
Yes, I am requesting the details of the son so that we can then assist him to then get his mother's subsidy that was approved, and also the process of getting to the arbitration for him to get the stand back.
No, it's fine. The administrative part of the Petitions Committee will forward those details to yourself. Honorable Schneemann.
Chair, I think I've been partly covered by yourself, but I think one does have to express a concern that we come to such a session like this, and we're told that people have only just seen the petition when this petition on the issue of parks goes back to 2018. And I think one has to express concern. Even though they're asking for more time, but I don't understand. And I think we'll have to really relook at how the municipalities are cooperating with us when we forward petitions, because it seems like this is taken lightly and nobody looks at them until the day of a hearing like this and everybody runs around. I just wanted to raise a concern.
Thank you, Member Schneemann. I see a hand up there, Mr. Kutse. You want to
Chair, yes, if we can just reply on this. We've not been involved in this project, the Shrek department, the people sitting here. So what we will do, we will go back. That's why we are here. So this project was from 2015. It was never on our books. It was not part of so nobody was involved in the project. So we will go back and find out what department or division was involved in development of this project. Because I see it started back in 2015. There was a reply from our department in 2018 already. So that because we are projects, we were requested to come here this morning. But what we will do, we will go back and we will find out exactly what the challenges is and then who was involved in the project so that we can get proper information on that, if it's fine with you and the committee.
No, it's fine. Actually, we don't have an option, Mr. Gauteng. Even if we don't want to accept your submission, there's nothing we can do now. Because surely when you left your office in the morning, you knew you were coming to respond to a petition. It was upon you to investigate what is it that you're going to respond to and what is expected. That you are requesting us now, you are going to do. You should have done it before. And when you came here, you should be telling us, no, it's not Shrek, it's whoever. So those are the information that you will have sought before you come to them. But it's fine. You can sit down there, Mr. Gauteng. We'll just conclude it as such. We'll administratively take your details, forward you all the information, the same with yourself, ma'am. We'll give you all the details and come back to the Petitions Committee within 7 days from today. Are we in agreement? 7 days from today with a proper response. Yes. Are we fine? Are we fine? Okay, no, it's fine. Do we have any other petition? No, thank you very much. We must thank all of yourself for the time, your effort for being with us here today. We appreciate that you were with us from morning up to now. We know you had other things to do, but you came here, including yourself, the department. We appreciate that at least you came here to grace our occasion and be with us. But in future, please assist us by providing us with the necessary reports on time before you come to the meeting, and take reasonable steps to make sure that you understand the issues before you come to respond in these hearings. Thank you very much. The Petitions Committee meeting is adjourned. Thanks.